Now I can drive like a normal person. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Random Distractions random review, and this one is going to be on the Logitech G29 driving force wheel. It's actually something that I received on Christmas from my wife. As some of you have noticed in my channel, I do have some gameplay videos, but most of those are actually like single player story driven games. But one of the other genres that I like to play quite a bit are like driving games, and I've always used like a an Xbox controller to do the driving, and I've gotten pretty good with that and not too bad, but I always wondered what it would be like with like an actual racing wheel or something like that. This was not something I was expecting, and so it was a really nice surprise on Christmas Day to open that up and take a look at it. I was getting a little bit worried when I first was looking at the box because it had PlayStation kind of all over it, and the only console, like video game console, that I have is a Xbox, but I of course I do most of my other gaming on a PC, but luckily towards the back it did say that it's also for PC use, so I was like, whew, that's good. First things first is to unbox it, so let's take a look at that. All right, let's unbox it and see what's in there. All right, looks like some quick start guide, some warnings. Looks like this is the power brick and power cable, some additional paperwork, and actually this is something I would like to eventually get, is some sort of like car seat. I think that would be kind of cool. And like I mentioned, it doesn't come with the shifter, so that would be something else that I would want to get as well. Oh, and there's the wheel. All right, it actually feels pretty heavy, and the look of the steering wheel actually is pretty cool. I like that. And I know it does have like PlayStation, and I don't actually have a PlayStation, but it does work with PC apparently. Yeah, this is really nice looking for sure. And of course this must be the pedals. All right, there's that. And yeah, those look actually really nice as well. I think that may be everything that's in here. Yep, and then just some cardboard. All right, so there it is. The G29, Logitech G29 steering wheel, and then brake, acceleration, and clutch pedals. So let's hook it up to the computer and see how it works. Connecting everything up is actually fairly easy. Everything connects onto the steering wheel as far as the cables, like the power, and then the foot pedals. And as I mentioned in the unboxing, I don't have an actual shifter, so I didn't need to worry about that. And it does have a little bit of cable management that you can do, so everything is kind of going in the right direction. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. You have your USB cable that connects to your computer or PlayStation in this case for this one. And then you have a way to route them in through here, which is kind of nice. There's that. And then this one is for the brake acceleration pedal. And this one just hooks up to here, like this. And you can tell because it has the little symbol there, whereas the clutch or the transmission shifter, the shifter is over here, and then power is right there. And so I can route that way as well. And here's the power, which will go right in here. I'll switch these around. And voila, you got it, all that hooked up. And as far as hooking it up to my desk, which unfortunately is not probably the best setup for this right now, but it's what I have. It's easy enough. The steering wheel just goes onto the desk itself, and you unscrew these little bolts and then screw and tighten them down, and they pop in and out, the little thumb screws, I guess it's what you can call them. They pop out to screw on and screw off, and then you pop them back in so that they'll kind of get out of the way. And of course the pedals go under my desk. Unfortunately, due to the subwoofer that I have under there, it actually can't go far back enough. So I'm finding myself kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of squished as far as my leg is concerned. But that's, you know, more of my problem as far as the layout goes. And so it's not an issue with the pedals themselves, but that's the availability that I have down there. So that's where I'll put it. And once everything is connected and set up on the desk, before I hooked it up to the computer, I actually went to Logitech and downloaded the Logitech Gaming Hub software and installed that and got it up and running. And then I connected it, and it had actually, like, looked like it was trying to connect, but it just kept on trying to connect and didn't do anything else. And so I tried unplugging it and plugging it back in, and then finally it started working. So and it connected, so I was able to look at the settings and all that good stuff for it. So now that everything looked like it was set up and working, I went ahead and fired up a game. Currently, because of Xbox Game Pass, I was able to start up Forza Horizon 5. I've been playing it for quite a bit using the controller, and I'm usually pretty good with that. But with the driving wheel, at least at first, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so much worse. Like, I think I'm driving worse than I have before. So I ended up trying quite a few different settings, and you know, I couldn't find the right sort of setting that made it feel correct or, you know, felt right. So I decided to to Google it and figure out and see if there was any optimal settings that I needed to do. And there is some settings that they are suggested, or at least one place that I found had some suggested settings. And you actually can do part of it in the gaming hub, so making some changes there. And then the other part is in the actual game itself. And one of them, which I think probably made the biggest difference, is switching from the standard steering to simulation steering. I think that actually helped quite a bit, because even in the description, I think it said standard is for like when you're using a controller. It helps with that and makes it a little bit better. And since I'm using a steering wheel, then, you know, simulation is probably the better option. So once I switched it to that, it was a lot more fun, and it was a lot easier to drive. I was actually, you know, being able to turn correctly while I was driving, so that was good. And oh, and the other thing that I noticed is, and I may have to play around with the settings still, is the pedal. So one of the things that I was finding myself doing was I was pushing down on the pedal after, like, you know, leaving a turn, but I was pushing it down too hard that I would like spin out of control or whatever. And so I was finding that if I'm a little bit smoother with my pedal movement, then I actually did much better. I was able to turn in fast turns and things like that. So that was good. But I did wonder, you know, I have a son as well. He's 12 years old, and I wondered how he would do as far as, you know, using a steering wheel, because it is, you know, it kind of mimics a car, I suppose. And so I put him in here, and here's kind of how that turned out.
All right. I'm doing like donuts. Went a little bit off road there. So I think it was really cool. I thought it was very fun. Even though I've never really driven a car, I think this is probably what it's like. It was really cool. I didn't know that it would vibrate and stuff. See, it feels like an actual wheel because like I know that I tried to like play with an actual car wheel, and it feels like the same. It looks like the same. I mean, except for all of like the controls, obviously. A lot of YouTubers have said that it feels like an actual like car. So I think maybe it'll help me like learn how to drive.
All right, so that's kind of it for the video. As far as what I think about it, I think it's actually quite a bit of fun. Once I get the settings, I think, dialed in, and so I may still play around with that. If anybody has any suggestions as far as what I should do in the settings, please let me know in the comments. I would definitely appreciate that, and that way I can, have a better experience with it for sure. And I'm just looking forward to playing some more games with it and seeing how it is with it. But it's definitely a great Christmas present and a lot of fun. So I'm definitely glad that I received that. And and the one thing that I'm wondering, and I'll need to look and see, so the G29 has some lights on the steering wheel that turn up when it first boots up, and it's supposed to, I guess, light up, as you're changing gears, but that part doesn't seem to be working. So I don't know if that's because it's the PC or if there's some other setting that I need to do, but I don't know. We'll see if I can figure that out, or if anybody knows how to do that. That would be awesome if you can let me know in the comments. But that's it as far as a recommendation for this. I do recommend it. It has good force feedback. The wheel feels really good in your hands, and like I said, once you get the settings dialed in, it's a lot of fun, and it definitely makes a big difference between the controller and and having the steering wheel. And that's all I have. I would definitely appreciate a like, of course, on this video, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when the next one drops. And until then, I hope you have a good one.